Oh. One sec. There we go, much better. Okay, I'm gonna start this with a question. Have you ever been told, or have you ever thought that you yourself are an over-emotional person? Because I know I have. Over the last, I would say maybe 5 years, I have become more and more emotional. So I just thought it was because I was getting older, and I was like, right, getting older now, I'm starting to become in touch with my feelings a little bit more now, but you know what? It's actually more than that. It turns out that people with ADHD have working memory impairments that make sudden emotions really overwhelming and hard to handle. So I just wanted to go through a few of those things and kind of tell you what they are and how they might affect you. The first one is emotional hyperarousal. Emotional hyperarousal is super common with people with ADHD, and it involves shifting or erratic emotions. Have you ever found yourself just not being able to relax at all, even on your days off? I am definitely guilty of this. I find that I just do not feel like I can relax. A lot of that is due to my own personal blame on that, because as an ADHDer, I tend to add more and more things to my schedule to the point where I can't handle it, but I don't know at the time that I can't handle it. So I'll just keep adding stuff, and then when it finally comes to my day off, I am trying to fill out all these tasks and do all this stuff, like create YouTube videos and freelance and create Instagram videos now. There's a ton of stuff that I always try to cram into my days, and it makes me feel like I'm overwhelmed, but I'm trying to work on fixing that right now. Another thing is not being able to shut off your thoughts. You know, when you're in bed at night, or just kind of any time you're trying to relax and you just cannot seem to shut your thoughts off at all. Again, another thing that's really common with ADHD. One thing to look out for with people around you is, are they wary around you emotionally? So are they kind of scared around you, to say things that might upset you, or do they kind of approach emotional subjects with you very carefully so as not to upset you or overwhelm you? Because if they do, then that might be a sign that you're displaying emotional hyperarousal. So another thing it could be is rejection sensitive dysphoria. Again, it's another really common thing with ADHDers, and it's when you're overly sensitive towards rejection. Now, I know that people are probably going to be like, well, Chris, everybody is overly sensitive to rejection. Nobody likes to be rejected. And yes, while that's true, nobody likes to be rejected. This is a little bit different though. RSD is when disapproval or rejection is deeply saddening to somebody. It's where it just takes it to the next level, and it affects you more than it should affect you. It also makes you feel like you can't relax too, but it makes you feel like you're on edge all the time. And it can make you really quick to emotions, and you'll go really quick to anger, to depression, these really bad emotions. It's almost waiting to come out. One of the worst things about RSD is people can feel so demoralized and demotivated by the fear of not doing well or failing. And this is really sad, because the fear of failing is just so overwhelming that you don't even want to try anymore. That really sucks, because sometimes the things that you really want to push yourself and do are the things that you enjoy the most. And I bet there are people out there who are super talented and they have amazing gifts, but they just don't want to go out and do it through the fear of rejection. And that's really overwhelming. Another thing that can happen with RSD is this kind of retaliation effect. So what happens is, when people are making fun or dragging you down or just poking fun at you, people with RSD can only react in the way that they know, and that is to in turn bring that person down and make fun of them and pull them down to the emotional level that they're feeling at that time. And it becomes this really painful and toxic cycle that's just not healthy. And I can say truthfully that I have been in that situation too, within a work environment and a community environment, and it sucks. It's not nice. So the good news is that This can be treated with medication or with counseling or just talking to friends or family. Basically, you just want to let people know when you're feeling overwhelmed and over emotional, and they can in turn help you with that and try to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm so emotional all the time and I don't know why, like what's happening, and you know, all that kind of stuff, I just wanted to let you know that, look, you're not alone. I have shared symptoms with that too, and I'm sure that tons of people in my community have the same feelings, and I bet you they'll let you know in the comments below as well. And if you are feeling like you're over emotional and it's too much, then sound off in my comments as well. You can talk about whatever you want. You can air out any of your anger or grievances down there, and I will gladly talk through it with you and see if I can make you feel a little bit better about it. But you're not alone, and that's the fact of it, and that's what I wanted to get across to you guys. We should all be embracing our emotions. Don't let them consume you, because it's not a good path to go down. Let them out. Be proud of who you are. If you're over emotional, be proud of it. You know, it's a great thing to be over emotional. A lot of people connect with that. And in the spirit of being over emotional and talking about our feelings, I thought I would end this video by telling you guys a few things that make me a little bit over emotional. So the first thing that makes me over emotional is videos like America's Got Talent and X Factor and all those kind of things. Anything seriously that shows people being vulnerable on stage in front of a bunch of people makes me super emotional, and especially when they start singing or something and it's really good and it's just so powerful to me, and that makes me really emotional. Another thing that makes me emotional is anything that's like father-child moments. You know, that really vulnerable moment with a dad and his kid. It just really gets to me. There is this Asian advert about this dad and his daughter where he's taking her to school and she gives him this letter, and this letter is talking about her dad, and she's like, you know, my dad is the best and he's amazing and he takes me to do this and we do that together, and it's like really nice. And then it turns and she says, but daddy's a liar. And then she kind of goes into, you know, daddy lies that he has a job, and daddy lies that he has the money to afford things, and daddy lies about being happy. And see, I'm getting overwhelmed like talking about it right now, but it's like super emotional, and the reason why is because he doesn't want her to see his pains. He doesn't want her to see his struggles, and it's just, by that point he just breaks down and he cries, and then he turns around and she comes and gives him a hug, and whew, and it's like, it's really emotional. It's really touching. In fact, I'm gonna put it down in the description, so I want you guys to watch it and see if it's as emotional to you guys as it is to me. I don't know if it is. Maybe different things affect different people. I'll tell you, I showed it to my wife and she didn't think it was as emotional as I did. But then again, she doesn't find things as emotional as I do, especially movies and adverts and stuff. She kind of sees it for what it is. It's just an advert or it's just a movie. Whereas I am like the kind of guy who's like brought to tears within the first 10 minutes of Up. I'll let you in on a little secret. She cried over the most recent Facebook advert, which I thought was pretty silly, but yeah, she cried over that. Anyway, that is enough embarrassment for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please sound off in the comments. Let me know if you're feeling over emotional right now so that we can talk to you. If you are feeling any of these symptoms, then let me know too. I'd love to hear from you guys. Like the video if you did, and also do not forget to subscribe and click that bell icon. You know you want to. It'll keep you up to date with all of my new content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.